Alright, in this problem, I recognize that x is in the inside of the triangle. That means x represents an angle. Only when you are using the angle, we're going to use something called the inverse. Watch. We talked about how the given angle is your starting point. That's why I keep highlighting it. From here, I can label the sides of the triangle. Going across, this side is called the... Across the right angle is the hypotenuse, and the third side is the adjacent. This silly phrase that helps me remember the trig ratios is SOHCAHTOA. Partner B whisper to partner A, which one am I going to use and which ones am I not using? Whisper, whisper. That's not whispering. On the count of 3, we're going to say the one we're going to use. 1, 2, 3. Adjacent has a number. Hypotenuse has a number, so I'm going to use cosine. Notice how opposite does not have a number or a variable, so you can cross it off. And anything with the word opposite in it, you just cross off. So I'm going to write cosine of the angle. What's the angle there? X equals adjacent over the hypotenuse. What is the adjacent side, class?
3.
And the hypotenuse? Alright, here it is. Pay attention. Here we go. I can't put in my calculator cosine of x. A common mistake is just try to type in cosine of 3/7. That would also be incorrect. I need a calculator-ready equation. Well, in order to do that, I'm going to have to take the inverse. Everyone say inverse?
Inverse.
What's another word for inverse, class?
Switch.
Switch. I'm switching these. Now, to show the inverse, you draw these arrows. What do you do, class?
Draw the arrows.
The symbol for inverse is a -1. So write that down. So when I switch them, I'm going to write now cosine, the inverse of cosine. Instead of writing x, I'm going to write what? 3/7 equals x. Okay, I'm going to switch the places, and because you switch them, you're taking the inverse. Now I have a calculator-ready equation. Now, it doesn't tell me what type of angle this is, measured in degrees or radians. If I did something like this, then you know to use which mode? Degrees. Let's put in our calculators. Go to mode, double check. It's on degrees. You might want to check it every single time. Some of you guys are borrowing a nicer calculator that actually tells you what's on top, or some of you have those. Okay. Now this is the inverse button, and if you find it, it's actually in yellow. So you're going to have to press the yellow button first. So there it is in yellow. So I'm going to have to press second, then cosine, and on my screen will appear the inverse of cosine. It is okay for me to put a fraction or a decimal here. And then it asks me to round to the nearest tenth, so I'm going to say x, this angle measured in degrees, is approximately 64.6 degrees. And this is my answer. Notice that I'm kind of showing the work here before I put into my calculator-ready equation, and that's what I expect of it.